Well, good evening, everybody. Ken Johnson here with you on this, what is this, Wednesday evening. And boy, the weather outside, at least here, is really, really nice. Now, I know that title can be a little bit misleading here, talking about severe weather, but let's look at the severe weather where it's at. Pretty big tornado watch tonight. It's covering a lot of areas. It's just been a really active mid-spring, and we're seeing tornado watches that cover most of Tennessee, a good part of Kentucky, south of St. Louis, southern Missouri tonight, into the southern part of that would be northern Alabama and Georgia. And then you get on the other side of that, and you got tornado watches for western Arkansas and down into eastern Texas. They go all the way down to about Austin, just north of San Antonio. These watches do not include us, any part of Texoma. In fact, we can just zoom in a little closer there, and the closest watch would be down in the DFW area and over east of I-35. In fact, most of the storminess is east of I-35. Look at the radar. Pretty strong thunderstorms. I believe this is mostly a hail type situation over here in northeast Texas tonight and southeastern Oklahoma. These are supercell thunderstorms, but they're producing big hail. Maybe a very slight chance that one of them or two of them could get strong enough to where they may spin a little bit. Could be an isolated tornado warning or two over here, but I don't expect anything major at this point in time. You can see the dry line. There's a dry line kind of parked from about Fort Worth, Arlington, north side of Dallas. Kind of southeast of Denton, and there's your storms developing south of Sherman and up there to the north of Paris. Those are some pretty big storms again. And we go down to the south. There's not a whole lot going on down that way. And this dry line feature is not going to head up towards us. So these storms will not be moving in our direction. You can see the storms are really lining out there. Look at all the warnings though. There's been several tornadoes today. In fact, I can even put on some of the reports here. And the thing just clutters up. Let me see if I can kind of bring some of this noise down here a bit. Just showing a lot of just stuff here. So give me a second. I'll try to bring some of these down so you can see where we're seeing more tornadoes and that kind of stuff today. So if you take a look at it here on the radar anyway, look at the tornadoes today. There was one. This was last night. If you look here, this is in the middle of the night here, west of Little Rock. But there's been a couple up here to the south of Springfield, Missouri, south of Joplin, Missouri. There's been a couple in southern Illinois and up here in northern Kentucky. Last night up there in Ohio. But there's been numerous tornadoes north of Nashville and another one down to the south of Nashville. In fact, I can show you that on radar. I actually got the Nashville radar pulled up here, and there's actually some pretty significant storms still ongoing. And again, these have been producing some tornadic activity. I'm not certain on damage and that kind of stuff, but a couple tornado warnings here for sure. Storminess there in Nashville at this time. There's your tornado warnings though, south of Nashville and east of Nashville. A couple big supercells there. There's some to the south there. We'll probably see some new severe thunderstorm and maybe even some tornado warnings there. Southern parts of Tennessee and northern Alabama, maybe down towards Huntsville. Haven't seen a lot of severe weather in this part of the country yet, but it is certainly active there this evening. And these storms will gradually build over into the Appalachian Mountains. Looks like there's a tornado warning up there, southern parts of Illinois at this hour. So yeah, a lot of severe weather ongoing across these areas here today, but thankfully for us, we missed out on this one. We were in the bullseye, or actually we were never really in the bullseye. We were on the southern fringe of a bullseye earlier in the week. That didn't play out, and of course, this is what happens when you get supercells. In Oklahoma the other night, what went wrong? Why that high risk didn't pan out was because those were not supercells. Initially they were, but they had to remain supercells into the evening hours without consolidating into a line to take full advantage of that scary atmosphere, and thankfully they didn't for the most part. Now, there was that one northwest of Tulsa, and it was a supercell that developed out ahead of that line, and that's just what happens. When you get supercells, and they can develop in a scary tornado environment like that, they have a tendency to produce big tornadoes. But you're looking at a line, and thankfully that's what we've been getting a lot of lately. You don't get that as much, so that's definitely some good news. As far as our weather here goes, though, the weather is looking really good. Yes, we are in the clear, Scott. No storms here. Yeah, South Lake Corey and Grapevine under the watch. You've got some storms trying to develop down that way now. I think the worst of it will be northeast. I don't think the tornado threat is particularly that high there, to be honest about it. I think that this is mostly a hail threat. But there are some thunderstorms. There's one developing there now, right in the heart of the Metroplex. You can see that updraft going up there south of Arlington. And this could take off pretty quickly and probably will be producing hail pretty fast. Pretty unstable down this way. A lot of storm energy here. So you're going to probably see this move kind of off to the east-northeast, move across maybe the heart of Dallas, the southern side, and the heart of Dallas. We'll see if it ever starts to picking up on rotation or anything. But as of right now, that will be a storm to watch there between Arlington and Mansfield as that heads up towards Dallas. Hail could be a big problem up that way. But again, on the backside of that, our weather's great here. We're looking at these temperatures in the low to mid 80s. The humidity is low. We got some nicer air on the way. Now, I do think that there could be maybe some storms tomorrow, and I'm not sold that this is going to happen, but I think there will be at least some chance for some rain over there in some of the eastern parts of the area. Maybe even a few clouds around tomorrow. I think the air itself will be nice, but the sky condition may be a little bit cloudy. But there are some thunderstorms trying to show up with some of the afternoon weather data over there into Jack, Montague, Wise County. That may be a little overdone. These would probably be elevated thunderstorms, probably hail producers. It's a close call, but maybe some thunderstorm chances there in some of the eastern counties, just southeast of Wichita Falls. I'll update that again tonight for the newscast, but as of right now, that would be your rain chances perhaps tomorrow. It's not a totally perfect forecast the next 7 days. Temperature-wise, I like it, but the rain chance is kind of showing back a little unsettled Sunday to Monday. I don't think anything major, but could be some showers and some thunderstorms around. And then maybe some again mid to late next week. Again, nothing too major, though, looking at this time. But not a bad-looking forecast. I don't mind it. I hope you don't, too. Hope you don't mind it. Hope you're having a great Wednesday evening. I hope you have a great night tonight. And, just enjoy this nice weather that we have ongoing right now. All right, everybody, have a great night, and we will have more updates later on this week.